Hi, it's Monday night, the 25th of January, and day 25 of 2021. Today's Living the Dream experience lands on the opposite side of the ledger. It can be considered a negative experience in that my focus group ad is not converting. It is averaging about 800 impressions a day and a little over 325 views a day with no conversions. Man, oh man, this process of going through negative experiences until you turn things around so that you begin to have positive experiences is still part of what's called the Living the Dream experience. That's why I'm including it here. Anyway, here's my power statement that I had for today. I'm going to take a few minutes to do some repetitive self-talk, thereby reinforcing and remapping my thinking about my personal success, my coaching, and how I want to see myself as the coach. In addition to this power self-talk and remapping experience, today I'm going to focus on trying to do a better video and thumbnail picture that will actually convert. This is a trial and error kind of experience and exercise, and hopefully I will get closer and closer to hitting the mark that gets people to click on the submit button and actually fill out the focus group request to participate form. That's the objective, that's the goal. So we shall see if those changes have an effect. So here's what I had on my to-do list for today. Right here, got them all done. Checked and yellowed out. Bam! My most important task for today was to write up a new script for a new focus group video. And my fun task for today was to record the new video for the focus group ad. And next, my third goal today was is the exciting one for today, which was to design a new thumbnail picture, like I said, for that focus group ad. Well, here's my end of the day success routine questions that I asked myself. Get honest with yourself, Marty. What didn't go well today? Or what could you have done better today? Did you wake up early and start strong? I did. I had a great morning of doing my win the morning, win the day routine. I started my morning with cold water on my face and went downstairs and did my win the morning, win the day routine. And so, yes, I started my morning with power and I was productive throughout the entire day. Start strong, stay strong, and end strong. Did you get the most important things done today? Check, check, check. You saw that. Did you move your goals forward? Pieces attracted into the portal of my mind, and through exercising my actions, by taking action, I moved them and manifested them into the world of the physical. And so I showed up as the person I wanted to be, and I was there for Kathleen, and she was there for me. We call that being present for each other. Next are my end of the day success routine accountability questions. Be honest with yourself about today's task, Marty. In other words, did you keep your promises that you made to yourself this morning? Well, this morning I promised myself that I would start to write up a new script for a new focus group video ad. And then if there was time, I would record that video. And if there was time after that, I would design the new thumbnail picture for it. Well, I did start all three of these tasks. I got the script finished just fine, but because of the noise of the folks who were doing the roofing on our home here, the bam, 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 and with that nail gun, oh my goodness, I couldn't do any recording today. I also started to design the thumbnail pic, so I got done what I controlled and can control. That was great. The next question is, what movies did you watch during your mindfulness time today, Marty? Did you make time for them? And were there any new instant replay movies that the two amigos called up on your mind? Well, besides my must-see TV favorite 5 movies, I did watch an instant pre-play movie today about this new ad working, but it was short-lived because I had to get up to the office and get after the task that I had on my list. My next question says, what's the one thing that would make all the difference going forward? In other words, what one thing can I do better tomorrow? Even if the day goes sideways getting it done, I'd still feel like I accomplished something great and I felt successful. What would that one thing be? Well, and then turn it into a power statement. Well, I'm going to keep doing my repetitive mind mapping self-talk and keep it as a power statement as well. And so here's what it says. I'm going to continue to do my repetitive self-talk to reinforce and remap my thinking about my personal success, my coaching, and how I want to see myself and show up as a coach. I will then focus on doing the 3 most important tasks that need to get done today. Well, working on my thought downloading on how I want to see myself as a coach and how I want to show up as a beginner entrepreneur coach has been very, very motivating to me. And it's been helpful in keeping my thoughts focused on what I need to be thinking about right now and every day throughout the day. The next question of my end of the day success routine is to ask myself, were there any mistakes or failures that I may have had today that I could turn into a tool of success going forward? Well, the only mistake or failure that I can think happened today is the fact that once again, my ad hasn't had the conversions yet that I was hoping and expecting. So I suppose that is a failure on my part for not yet coming up with a winner ad with the right scripting, with the right video, with the right thumbnail pick. And I'm confident, however, that I'll get there. So the tool of success I'm going to use to check out with the winning advertisers and what they're saying and using as thumbnails. That's what I'm going to do, is to go to the experts and kind of compare what I'm doing to them. And I did that, but I'm going to be even more tight on that. And that's called duplication, the power of duplication. The next question is, what was your biggest success today, Marty? In other words, what did you do well today? Well, my biggest success today, I think, was not giving up. I'm not a quitter, and I know you aren't either. I will persist until I strike gold in terms of coming up with the combination of a good thumbnail picture, a good tagline on it, and a great video that's short enough but powerful enough that it makes, I got to check that submit button and see what it's all about. So I'm going to keep it all going the way that is, and I'm going to keep at it until that is achieved. My next end of the day success routine question asked me to rate my day's effort. I gave today's effort a 7. I give today a 7 because I worked at the speed of 7 all day today, and that's because I wasn't able to do the full 3 important tasks because of those nail guns going on that I couldn't do my recording. So I dinged the day 3 points. Okay, I want to end the day strong. Here's what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for the principle that says, don't be a mouse. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Here's how you sell yourself to a boss, to your customers, and to people in general. It lies in how we handle ourselves. Most people approach a potential employer, for example, half scared, acting almost like beggars. They usually try to give answers of how they think the boss wants them to answer his or her questions, versus being authentic. The key here is to respect people for sure, but more importantly, we need to respect ourselves. Be sure to ask as many questions of the people you're being interviewed by as they ask you. And don't be a mouse. Be real and be authentic. These principles lead to the next thing I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the law of patience, which says, the law of patience and reward states that the most valuable rewards require persistence. This means that anything worth having in life requires persistence and perseverance. This law is arguably the law that cultivates our character and outlook on life. Well, in addition to being authentic and not being a mouse, I suggest we consider the trait of being patient, as it will be another key to running a successful business. Patience, for sure. Let me illustrate what I'm talking about with a story of an adult bully. This was someone who was the type of person who would, figuratively speaking, bite you, growl at you, pick on you, and otherwise chop you down. We need to defend ourselves from such bullies. However, the way we do it is very important. So here's my story. A few months ago at the reservation desk of a Memphis hotel, an excellent demonstration of sticking up for being bullied took place. It was the right way to handle folks like this. It was shortly after 5 p.m. and the hotel was busy registering new guests galore. The fellow ahead of the man who witnessed this gave his name to the clerk in commanding way. The clerk said, "Yes, sir, Mr. R. We have a fine single for you." "Single?" shouted the fellow. "I ordered a double." The clerk said, very politely, "Let me check, sir." He pulled the guest reservation from the file and said, "Man, I'm sorry, sir. Your telegram specified a single. I'd be happy to put you in a double room, sir, if we had any available, but we simply do not have any available." Then the irate customer said, "I don't care what the blankety blank piece of paper says. I want a double." Then he started in with the bullying, saying, "Do you know who I am?" Followed with, "I'll have you fired. You see, I'll have you fired." As best he could, under the verbal tornado, the young clerk injected, "Sir, we're terribly sorry, but we acted on your instructions." Finally, the customer, really furious now, said, "I wouldn't stay in the best suite in this blankety blank hotel now that I know how badly managed it is." And he stormed away. Well, the man behind him stepped up to the clerk, thinking the clerk, my goodness, he's thinking that he had taken one of the worst public tongue lashings he had ever seen for some time. And he did it so calmly. Instead, he greeted the man with one of the finest "Good evening, sir," he's ever heard. As he went through the routine of processing his room, he said to the clerk, "I certainly admire the way you handled yourself just a moment ago. You have tremendous temper control, man." "Well, sir," he said, "I really can't get mad at a fellow like that. You see, he really isn't mad at me. I was just the scapegoat. The poor fellow may be maybe he's got trouble going on with his wife, or his business may be off, or maybe he feels inferior, and this is one way that is a golden chance to feel like a real big wheel. I'm just the guy who gave him a chance to get something off his system or off his chest. The clerk then said, underneath, he's probably probably a nice guy. Most folks are. Isn't that fantastic? Remember, those two short sentences, the next time someone declares war on you, underneath, he's probably a very nice guy. Most folks are. The way to win in situations like this is to let the other fellow or gal blow their stack and then forget about it. This leads me to the next thing I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for J.C. Penney, who said, just doing what's right made me one of America's richest men. Boy, is that the truth. Doing what's wrong violates our confidence, and doing what's right keeps our conscience satisfied, which builds our self-confidence. Guilt from doing what's wrong eats away at our confidence. Again, to think confidently, act confidently. Man, that's an incredible topic. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to leave it there, though, because I have a lot more to share, and I'm getting late. I'm kind of tired and stumbling, like I said. So I'll be back here at my laptop sharing more of how my day went tomorrow and sharing more thoughts on my end of the day video journal entry. But until then, I wish you continued success. Good night.